The Water Cycle as a Raindrop by Hannah Singh. Hello there, my name is Rachel the Raindrop, and I'm going to tell you all about the water cycle and what I go through. This is a little preview of what the water cycle looks like, but I'm going to tell you more about it. First off, I'm going to tell you a process called evaporation. This is evaporation. I start off in my liquid state like this, a raindrop. But then I turn into my gaseous state, which is water vapor or fog. So instead of being my ordinary raindrop, I am water vapor. Evaporation happens because of the rise of the temperature outside. Next, I go through a process called condensation. Which is complete opposite of evaporation. Condensation is when I am a gas and turn back into a liquid. This is like when you have a can of Coke and it starts to get warmer. Then it begins to look like it's sweating. This is exactly condensation. This occurs when the temperature of water vapor gets lower instead of higher. When I get back to my liquid as a raindrop, I am very, very small. And I actually stay in the sky. And when I'm in the sky, I get with all my brothers and sisters and make clouds. The next process is called precipitation. This happens when the temperature and the pressure in the sky are just right. I begin to turn into a bigger raindrop in the clouds. And then suddenly, I begin to fall to the earth. Once I return to the earth, I do the most fun part of the water cycle. I go through a thing called surface runoff. This means that once I get to the earth, I slide off the earth of the ground and slip through hills into streams, rivers, lakes, and ponds. Small streams flow into larger streams, and then into rivers, and eventually the ocean. It's just like a water slide. Not only is this process the most fun, it's also very important. It is the most important because once I go through the whole surface or the water slide, I end up in the ocean. And then evaporation likes to happen again. The next part of the water cycle is called infiltration. This happens when I leave the ocean and soak into the ground through the soil and the rock layers of the earth. Sometimes I return to the surface at water springs or in low spots downhill. Other times I stay underground and get called groundwater. As I filter through the soil and the rocks, many of my impurities are taken away. So that means I become clean again. The final step I go through is very important, and it's called transpiration. As I am on the ground, plants like to absorb me right up into their roots, into their stems, and then their leaves. And then once I'm back on the leaves, part of me gets evaporated back into the air. And then I am water vapor again, and I begin the water cycle process all over again. Now, I hope that next time you see it raining, or think about the water cycle, you think about the process I go through. Thanks for watching. See you next time.